It is a perfect night here in the capital city of Atlanta, Georgia. We've got the roof open, and we are ready to go at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And some room to roam now. And all the way down to the 29. A huge play there right off the bat. 45 yards on the ground. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing now is Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Logan. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. Oh, he put her on the carpet, a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. Defensively well done to jar that free. I'll tell you what, though, offensively, he's got to be lucky after the catch and the fumble, but that didn't go too far away from him.
And the way the football is shaped, it's not built to bounce true, is it? It can squirt in any direction and move in any way. He was so lucky. Thank his lucky stars, he was able to get that one back.
Now Rodgers on the bootleg. Jones has it. And he is going to lose yardage here. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. And this one is right through. And the Packers are off to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at their own 27. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
This defense for the Packers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
A very nice job right there, working the middle of the field, able to create some separation and then utilize it to not just make the catch, but turn upfield once he got the ball in his hands.
There's Presley. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
The Falcons had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign. Dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important it is to start the season 1-1, especially with 2 games at home. Because if you go 0-2, hard to make those up on the road as the season progresses.
They give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Got his man. It's London. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy.
Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
26-yard attempt. Best team in the first quarter with the score Packers 3, Falcons 9.
And the first play will be a field goal try from the right hash, and this one just a chippy.
Koo knocks this one through the post.
And that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Taken at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Go to 50 and you block over here.
Rodgers now on 1st down.
That'll be complete to Alan Lazard. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 18 more yards there and another first down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Rodgers. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Rodgers. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Ritter on target to Pitts for a Falcon first down. He'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And to put it mildly, this is a tough spot defensively. They have to come right back out and defend their red zone. But how about that good first step towards forcing them to settle for at least 3 points? I think they're also thinking bigger right now. Imagine being able to stop them totally and change the momentum.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Rodgers to throw. Over the middle here, it's hauled in by Watson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Well, that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack. And his kick is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a throw here, hauled in. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
Oh, he's got his tight end pitch complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On the run, this is Presley. And he is going to lose yardage here. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Now back to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he did everything but hold on to it. But a nice play defensively, and now it brings up 4th down.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
He finds his man, complete. That's Wolf. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he will slide down with the first down for the moment, but a penalty flag on the field. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
It's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Second and 20. To throw, it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Wolf. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Man open, here is Jones. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
A lot of running backs in the passing game, they're just used to check it down to them or maybe dump off passes. But this guy, they use him to stretch the field, don't they?
Stretched it right there, turned it into a really nice game. In motion goes the tight end. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that is incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. It'll be Falcons football, and they trail here as we get back underway on EA Sports. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively. Virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because
Those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now they got some...
He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 36 yards on the play. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Just what they need, electric from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
Back to throw again.
This one into the hands of Pitts. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. It's a gain of 35. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a carry here for Presley. Oh, he bowls over him. And he's able to break out of one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The pickup of 3 brings up 2nd and 7. The Packers 7-yard line.
He'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5.
And now that sets up 3rd and 2.
They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Touchdown, Falcons! A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Falcons are back within a score.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead will shrink to 6.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that momentum stays in your camp.
Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Logan. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now.
Well, it's time to give real credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Logan.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's not the first time they've looked his way when they've needed a big play. He's been the go-to guy all game long. And they get the hook up again on 3rd down to keep this drive alive.
Now a first down carry, and the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it, and the Falcons grab it. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
So what a turnaround to begin this second half. A touchdown and then the fumble recovery in quick succession.
It certainly feels like whatever was said in the half, it certainly struck the right chord because they've come out with a lot more fire here in this 3rd quarter. Down 2 scores at the half. Now they're right back in this thing with a chance to capitalize right here.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. They'll drop to throw.
This pass is caught by London. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. This offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time. Picked off by Quay Walker. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
63 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Rodgers now on 1st down.
And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard.
A great play there. His 1st touchdown of the new season.
And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
You certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right?
And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard.
A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Packers will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Jimmy Ward.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he stopped immediately there.
The wide receiver, the ball carrier. He was brought down by Richie Grant. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 27-yard line.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
2nd and 10.
Here's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. It's Wolf.
And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He finds his man, complete. It's Wolf. And it's a Packers touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Packers are on their way to a 2-0 start.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one's pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. Touchdown! Calvin Ridley, 40 yards.
And the Falcons get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll cut the lead back down to 21.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
On 1st down, Rodgers. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
On play action, Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Logan. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. 88. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
A nightmare on 3rd and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Here we go. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
They'll set up to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again.
The hard-hitting safety, Jimmy Ward, picking up the sack that time.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here, he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Well, that's deep, particularly the secondary has been picked apart on points here tonight. They finally, though, get to the quarterback, get a pick.
And we know this about him. He loves night games, loves the spotlight, loves being the center of attention. I will bet you that he ran off the field almost chuckling to himself. They finally got one. They finally got me.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Let's go now.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's going to be batted down, and will go the other way with a football. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. Rodgers looking to throw. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. And it'll be intercepted.
And the Falcons are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. They'll run again with Presley, and he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there, as that will wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining.
At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Packer pressure, and down he goes. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left.
I know nowadays they give a lot of guys different things when they get to the sidelines after creating a big play, but just throw a cape on this guy because he single-handedly ended multiple drives. Interception earlier, sack on 3rd down. Really? Should have a better game plan installed for how to contain him because he's affecting this game in so many ways.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And this doesn't end well at all as they stop him far behind the line to gain. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Green Bay, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.